And the president has been a lightning rod for criticism and facing dismal approval ratings as his time in office winds down. So how will President-elect Barack Obama take that into consideration when making his own decisions? Joining me now is liberal radio host Steph Miller in Los Angeles. Good morning.
Good morning, Karen.
You're not going to have this president to kick around anymore. What are you guys going to talk about?
Oh, gosh, I miss him already, Karen. And it was news to me that he's misspoken. Really? I hadn't caught any of that.
Well, you know, one of the things.
Go ahead, no.
One of the things that's very interesting is when you saw that, it was almost a surreal sight of the president-elect Barack Obama coming to the White House, walking and talking and having conversations with the current president. How will perhaps some of the decision-making of Barack Obama be affected by Bush's legacy? And right now, you know, the negative ratings, the negative approval ratings, and the negative view of his time in office.
Well, Karen, that's the good news, is that's a pretty low bar. To do better than President Bush, who I think the latest I saw has nearly an 80% disapproval rating. At least that's a low bar to start with.
You know, and you also have a number of Democrats that are opposing certain things. They really want to wipe the slate clean, especially those that are speaking from the left, of some of the things that President Bush has done in office. One of them is the possibility of the Director of National Intelligence, Mike McConnell, as well as the CIA Director, maybe replacing them in their posts. They both publicly supported things like the interrogation and telephone surveillance, which have been highly controversial. So the anti-war camp also wants Obama, it looks like, to dump Defense Chief Robert Gates. Is that the smart thing to do right out of the gate as we deal with this presidential transition?
Is to keep him, Karen, or
is to dump some of these people that are in these highly sensitive posts right now during this transition?
Well, you know, if ever the American people wanted a clean slate, Karen, I think now is the time. So I think they've made it pretty clear that they're going to be undoing just about everything Bush did. That being said, I think Barack Obama has shown a lot of caution and deliberative process as he's gone through this campaign. So I'm sure he'll do it in a way that will keep America safe.
All right, so you talk about that. Another one is Guantanamo Bay, of course, another big lightning rod of criticism. And Barack Obama looking to close Guantanamo Bay. But is that a good idea at this point?
Yes, and I understand the Crawford Ranch is very big, so we could essentially put them there if they need to go somewhere. I think that, you know, this is something that is certainly, Karen, hurt our image around the world, and that we have got to close. We have whatever, I mean, I understand it's a controversial issue, what to do with them and how, but you can't just hold people forever with no, you know, trials and no process of law. So I think it's going to be a sticky issue going forward, but he has got to send a different message to the world. My dad was a prosecutor at Nuremberg, you know, and we had to find a way to be fair, even to the Nazis, you know, after World War II. So
I hear what you're saying. Is that sticky situation, though, of trying to figure out where people being held at Gitmo should go? Should they go back to their countries? Should they be brought back here on our soil for criminal trials? Is that what he wants to get started with, get involved in, as we're facing this looming financial crisis, and a lot of people are saying, you know, the clock is ticking on this bailout. When are we going to start to see some results?
Well, I think, Karen, he's already made it clear that the economic crisis is his #1 priority, and he's certainly spoken about helping the auto industry, which I think is critical to American jobs and what's going on now. But I think Guantanamo is certainly something that he has to get to, because it is something that is, like I say, really hurt our image around the world, and I think made us less safe.
Is the Democrats' agenda too ambitious at this point? As we deal with the financial bailout, we look at possible universal health care, tax cuts, reforms to the education system, all at the same time that we are dealing with 2 wars overseas.
Well, yes, the president certainly has left a lot of gifts for President-elect Obama, hasn't he? He has certainly left a big flaming pile of dog poo, politically speaking. But I think President-elect Obama has said, like I said, that he will prioritize. And I think the recent polls show that American people want him to, that the economic crisis should be first. They can wait on tax cuts. They can wait on other priorities. I think that he has so much to do that I think they're deliberately moving through it.
Stephanie, our viewers who have not finished their breakfast are thanking you this morning.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being with us. Good to talk to you, Stephanie Miller.
Thanks, Karen.
Flaming bag of what?